Hello, beautiful people. You're welcome back to the channel. So, I want to give my honest review about Malaysia. Having spent so much time there, I've posted over 20 videos from Malaysia. That is because I stayed for a very long time. I stayed longer than I had initially planned to stay. While in the country, I had to extend my stay. So that is why we have so many vlogs from Malaysia. It was like it was never ending. But finally, I have posted my last Malaysia vlog. I'm currently not in Malaysia. I'm in another country. You're going to see the vlogs later. But I just wanted to give you a review about my time in Malaysia before we move on to the next country. All right. So let's start from the people. The people in Malaysia are very warm and very respectful, very welcoming. I just got a very good vibe from the people in Malaysia. They were always willing to help everyone I met, everyone I had conversations with. And, Malaysia is multicultural. There are Indians, Chinese, and the Malays in the country already. So already it is multi-ethnic, okay? And then we have so many foreigners in Malaysia. Before I went to Malaysia, I didn't realize how many foreigners actually visit as tourists and how many actually live in the country. And I believe that the presence of so many tourists in the city made it very vibrant. I want to believe so because any place where you have tourists, it's people are usually in high spirits. Okay, you know how it is when you're on vacation, you're happy, so many expectations, you're just like happy. Every experience you have is good, so that's just the vibe in a place where tourists are so many. You just have that very happy, upbeat vibe the whole time. So KL, Kuala Lumpur was like that. So while I was in Malaysia, I stayed in Kuala Lumpur and I also visited Penang. I did 3 days in Penang, right? And then the rest of the time was in KL. So most of my experiences were in KL. So as far as the people in Malaysia go, it was really good. I really had a very good experience. Nothing bad to say. The only bad thing I really say, well, it's not that bad. I think it just has to do with their personality, where the Airbnb I stayed in KL, the first two places I stayed in KL, the customer service was not so great. The first one was the person that checked me in. He wasn't bad, okay? The only thing was that he wasn't talking, wasn't making eye contact, he wasn't talking. It was like this. He was, standing facing the counter. So I came, stood, faced the counter as well. He didn't say anything extra. It was just, this is it, read this, sign this is the deposit. That was it. Time to check out. He didn't even say anything at all. Just got the key and that was it. So I just felt weird about that, but I wouldn't say it's anything bad. I guess that's just how he is. Then the second place I stayed, the person that checked me in, he was okay, helpful and everything. The problem there was a WhatsApp group. So once it was a few days to check in, they formed this WhatsApp group. About 6 staff of the company were there. So all the interactions we had on that WhatsApp group, I felt was not really nice. The way they were communicating was not so nice. But then I felt like, is it language barrier? Or you know how it is when if you're communicating in a language that may not be your first language, you may not know the polite way to say things. I do believe so, because it was just a bit off. And that is why sometimes when you're chatting with someone, you try to use, smileys, emojis, to just lighten the atmosphere so it doesn't come across hard. Anyway, I talked more about their customer service, the second place, in the video I did. It was really, really not so great. First of all, they didn't let me check in early enough, even though they had so many rooms ready. And how do I know this? Because once it was 3 p.m. and they wanted to check me in, I saw at least 3 rooms, and all these rooms were empty, ready, and everything. And it's impossible for all the 3 rooms to be ready on the same minutes, okay? And we all know that when it has to do with lodging, where travelers are lodging, there would be travelers that are checking out like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. It's not like everybody checks out at 12. It's impossible for everyone to check out at 12 because people have early flights to catch. So rooms could be available, but they refused to check me in. But I didn't hold it against them. That is the rule. Check in by 3. I didn't hold it against them at all. I got there earlier, so I just sat at a cafe and had breakfast and waited, for check-in time. So I didn't hold that against them. But where I had issues was when it was time to check out, they told me that I must check out by 11. And that is where I didn't really like, because when I booked the accommodation, it did say that checkout was by 12. It had to be like this back and forth before, they allowed me to check out by 12. So I didn't really like that about that place. I just felt like the customer service was really off there. And since this video is honest review, I just have to say it the way it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'll just give you like a true representation of everything so you know what to expect. All right. So that's it. Apart from those two, or I would say one, because the first man, I don't really consider that being rude or anything, maybe just his personality. But being that he's in hospitality, he should be more outgoing, do it better. Anyway, so let's talk about the food. Oh my goodness, I totally enjoyed the food in Malaysia. Oh dear, it felt like I was home. The food there is like so familiar. It tasted like Nigerian food. The spices, the richness in taste and everything. It brought back memories. Being that it was familiar to Nigerian food, I really enjoyed it so much. Oh my goodness, just thinking about it, I feel like taking a flight back to Malaysia just to continue eating that food. Food in Malaysia is great. There is Indian, Chinese, Malay, Thai, everything you need is there. So I never had fast food and all of those chips and chicken. I didn't do any of that while I was in Malaysia. I ate mostly Indian, Chinese. I ate everything. The food was really amazing. So everything I said about the food in my videos was 100% accurate. I really loved it. I enjoyed it so much. The variety of food in the country is a lot. So whatever you want. Do you like spicy food? Do you like non-spicy? Whatever you need is in Malaysia and you're really going to enjoy it. So yeah, that was it for the food. And then let's talk about transportation in the country. I didn't use public transportation while I was there. The only public transport I used was the train from KL to Penang. Yeah. So that was the only, and then ferry from Butterworth to Georgetown. That was all the public transport I did. As far as KL City, goes, I didn't use any bus, no train, and any of that. But I do believe it's great because I did not see queues at the bus stations. You hardly see anybody on the road. So that's just an indication that the transportation is efficient. Yeah. So I used Grab the whole time. It's Grab that we use in Malaysia. So I used Grab the whole time and I found it so affordable. Transportation is really affordable in the country. And yeah, so that takes me to cost of living. Cost of living in Malaysia is really lower than, I would say, is the lowest in all the countries I've ever visited. Cost of living in KL is the lowest from the accommodation. Big accommodation, so affordable, like $20 a night in a 46 square meters studio apartment with amenities, swimming pool, gym, and all of that. And transportation, quite affordable as well. An average of $2 for a trip. And then what else? Food. I think food felt like the most expensive thing, right? And that's probably because I think I was eating in expensive places. I don't know. I didn't do much of street food except at Jalan Alor, where you would have like kebab for 10 ringgit, 15 ringgit or thereabout. The street food is not expensive at all, but I didn't have a lot of that except at Jalan Alor. No, when I did it, I ate like a full meal in Jalan Alor and it was still expensive. And I was surprised. Okay, so I took a little bit of a break. I had to jump on a conference call. So that took a bit. The sun is now shining directly on me. The sun is setting. So my window is facing the sunset. So now it's beaming directly on me. Anyway, so I was speaking about cost of living in Malaysia. And I was saying how, as a tourist, it was the cheapest I've ever had in all the countries I've been. So I can only imagine that living in Malaysia is also really affordable. So everything, accommodation, transportation, feeding, the things that really matter to a tourist are all very affordable in the country. And as far as safety goes, it is equally really safe. There was a time where I was at Bukit Bintang in the night. I wasn't vlogging that night, so I didn't even have footage of all of this. I was my first was it first night? Well, I was at Bukit Bintang. I went to Jalan Alor. Then it was so crowded in terms of getting a grab out of there. So I had to walk down to see other things. So I went to this place that is like the very busy junction, and then I walked, kept going down, and I got to Bukit Bintang, the pavilion, and all of that. That place is quite busy because there's a whole lot of nightlife going on in there. So it was a bit tough to get a grab because of crowd, right? Crowd, traffic, everything. So I was like, okay, let me walk off a little bit. Walking to my hotel would have taken me about 20 minutes. So I thought of just walking a little bit off, the crowded area so I could get a grab. So I walked out of the crowded area and I was still feeling pumped, like, okay, let me walk some more. Okay, let me try and walk to the hotel, sort of thing. And this was almost 11 p.m. And here I was with my friend. There was another tourist from France that I met, where two of us, so two ladies, were walking at night on very lonely roads past 11, and we didn't feel any type of way. We're not like looking over our shoulders, looking back, or feeling, unsafe. We felt very safe the whole time. And it just made me feel like, and we met other women also walking at that time. From time to time, you meet some other people also walking. And that just gave me the impression that KL is quite a safe city for women at night. So yeah, all around, I would highly recommend Malaysia. I like what I saw. I can't say anything bad about it. It's a place that I could totally live. I could live in Malaysia. It's my kind of city. I could live in KL. Let me say KL, yeah. KL is my kind of city, and I do look forward to visiting the country again and exploring some other parts of the country, going to Langkawi, some other islands, and even go back to Penang. I feel like I should go back to Penang. I absolutely love Malaysia and I highly recommend Malaysia. So that basically is my honest review about the country. I enjoyed every bit of it and I highly recommend it. So I would try to put together like things to do in Malaysia and all of that. I'll try to put together this kind of videos so you can know how to plan your trip to Malaysia and things to see while there. That video will be coming up much later when I'm settled, to put together the footage. Right now, I'm still traveling. I'm in another country as we speak. So there is more vlogs to come from my travels around the world. Thank you so much for watching my vlogs. I really appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, for all the support, the comments, the likes, the shares, everything you do to support the channel. I really appreciate it. Let's keep it coming, all right? Thank you so much. Bye.